The Bring a Trailer Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bring a Trailer Podcast. Alex Porter here at the Bring a Trailer headquarters in San Francisco, joined by Beck and Randy. Hey, gents.
Howdy, Alex.
Hey, man, what are we talking about today?
Well, I thought first we could have a little breakdown from Beck on an event that you and I both missed this weekend, Randy, which is kind of a bummer, but we did a little collab with the Motoring Club, Motoring Coffee, and then you and I both missed it after putting some of the logistics together. But Beck was there.
Well, we had a team there, and a bunch of people were there, and we had cars there. But no, Beck, tell us about it.
And your truck was there minus you.
Yeah, no, so I was kind of there in spirit because the GMC was there. So that was me being there, as far as I'm concerned.
In spirit.
We needed a work truck, and that was like actually the most legitimate one that we had available to us. It was perfect.
And Randy
that is always the most legitimate.
It is legit. I
will add a 72 GMC. 2500.
And you came down to put ATF in it to make it all happen.
Yeah. You're like, hey, we're gonna borrow the truck and run it over to the other side of San Francisco. And I was like, let me check that thing out before I put civilians in it. I can drive around a lot of problems in cars, but you throw the keys to your 1972 truck to somebody, and you want to make sure it's right. So anyway, I put some miles on that thing on Friday, and then what was it, Sunday morning? You guys went ripping over to the Marina Middle School.
Yep. Sunday morning, Cameron ripped over there with 3 abreast in the GMC pickup, which is, I think, the best way to drive around in there.
3 in the cab. Okay, you ever played a joke on your friends where there's 3 in the cab, and if you're on the far passenger side, you lean down so nobody can see you, and it makes it look like the other 2 are snuggling? You ever done that?
No.
Come on,
I've never heard that in my life.
That's a classic pickup truck move to prank your friends, and then people in the crosswalk are like, check those folks out.
Bench seat hijinks.
It's just so great. Anyway, sorry. I don't know whether they did that. I should have instructed them to do that. But anyway, they were driving over to this event. So eventually, you'll get to tell about your
That's
event.
fine. They hustled over there. I hustled with my kids. They came along, which is always fun. Notably, the last...
You took the SE? You're not
took the
SE?
Okay. Yep. Kids in the little jump seats. I figure I've got this like narrow window of time where they fit back there comfortably.
So they're both in the back?
Both in the back.
Wow.
And got there around, I don't know, started around 7:30, 7:45. It was already a line down the block. It was rather impressive to see.
And it's at a middle school?
Marina Middle School, which is a huge asphalt parking lot, along with their sort of outdoor play space for that school. It's one of those just classic, enormous, urban public schools. And it kind of blew my mind that we actually hadn't figured out how to do something like this already, because it is so centrally located while still close to getting to the bridge if you want to go to Marin County to go for a drive. And there's so rarely have those kind of spaces in the city.
It's kind of the best one in the city, or one of the best, isn't it? I mean, it's a
really
big...
is. And it's flat. That's a big one, too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Most of these big open spaces in the city, because of the nature of how the city's laid out, are on like multiple platforms. Like my kids'
The geography?
Yeah,
because of the geography of San Francisco?
The contour lines cause it to be like this. And like even my kids' school has 4 separate yards that cascade down a hillside. And this is one big, giant, flat open space. And it was full. It was rather impressive. I was just looking up before we got on. The last one of these I went to for Motoring Club was almost exactly 2 years ago. And it was before they had their facility here in the city now. And it was really just sort of a starter event, just kind of get the word out.
Same venue?
No, it was at Baker Beach.
Yeah, it was at the beach parking lot.
Which was super cool spot.
Which I think
actually
is cool, yeah.
It was. And it was small. It was like 12, 15 cars at most. Like, and you're kind of battling the dog walkers who've shown up. And, you just hope that people don't complain. I think someone told me they eventually sort of got kicked out of there because it got to be too popular. And it's government space, so it's a little less, I guess.
Yeah, park ranger comes by and's like, get out of here.
Exactly. Yeah. I even was looking it up on the Motoring Club Instagram, and there was like most certainly a park ranger parked in the backdrop of the photo from the event 2 years ago. But this one, clearly they're involved with the school district on this one. I'm not sure what their relationship is, but they had gates open, people with flags parking everywhere. It was the most substantial, legit cars and coffee that I've been to. I don't know about you, but like a lot of the ones I've been to, they feel kind of, I don't know, you get an email, like Berkeley Cars and Coffee.
Yeah, they're ramshackle.
They're very much like sort of thrown together.
Which is part of the charm.
No like official real presence typically. But this one felt much more legit.
You bring your own coffee to most cars.
Exactly, for sure. And this one, like people like purposefully didn't bring their coffee because they wanted Motoring Coffee. And they had their little setup there as well.
You guys ever been to the big ones in SoCal for comparison? No, you've never been to
I went
the
to
old Crystal Cove or Donut Derelict.
What's the one I did go, and I think this one's gotten busted up too. It was the one up in the shopping center up in Malibu.
Oh, that was you're talking about the one where
we went. I was there.
Were you there with that one? I mean,
that
crazy cars showed up to that.
What they called that place.
There was the Lancia with the rear engine showed up. That looks like, what are those called? The one that looks like an Integrale, but the whole back pivots up.
Wow. That's an S4.
S4, yes, correct. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that was during our Peterson event. We went down there and then
that may have been right.
Ran up to one of those. So you guys have been to some other Cars and Coffee, but yeah, it's cool that it felt like it was well put together.
The Blackhawk one was huge too in the East Bay. I'm sure you went to that one, Randy. But it was definitely ramshackle. Like you're in a parking lot intermixing with the Priuses going shopping, right? But there were hundreds of cars at that one.
This almost even felt close to a BAT alumni gathering,
like a sanctioned event
for sure. Because cars were being parked at all the right angles, and they knew how to keep special spots open for when the Bugatti shows up. They bring that in, and the Carrera GT shows up. They were very controlling of that. There was an overflow space. There was clearly this is your modified Audi SUV territory. You can sort of move to the back. It was
always delicate.
Oh, it's very delicate.
Oh, you're a good friend of ours, but you showed up in your Buick Enclave.
Yeah, thank you for asking for the first parking space. Yeah, we'll take a pass on that. Yeah, you can go park behind the coffee truck.
Was this our guy, Mike Perlman? Was he the one in
yes.
charge? Okay, shout out to him. He does a good job. He's dialed.
Perlman and Rapetti.
Yeah.
The mics. I mean, the most enormous line for coffee that I've seen before. It was clearly in high demand.
I mean, that's the good news because it's good, but that's also the terrible news, right? We had that at our San Diego meetup.
Oh, the Encinitas thing?
Yeah, and it's like one person is making a custom coffee for 1,000 people. And you're kind of like, I mean, if I go to a coffee shop and there's 4 people in line in front of me, I'm like, I'm good. I'm just going to go to the vending machine or I'm going to go bail. Right. But you show up and you're like, well, this is part of the social vibe, Randy, is you stand in line for 3 hours for coffee. That's not speaking to me. But I'm like industrial grade van, take the coffee to the
55-gallon drums.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. And I'm not a coffee snob, but coffee snobs probably stand in line for 3 hours. But that would be kind of crazy. So maybe that could be evolved.
I think that's kind of the MO of Motoring Club, though. Like they get this trendy response and people see it online and they want to go be a part of that. And they want to.
And being in the line is the cool part.
I think they want to take a photo of themselves in the line. Like, look what I did. I went through all this to get coffee.
I'm so out of touch.
As opposed to,
I'm so out of touch with what's cool.
Well, I talked to Robert and he said this is a lot of young people and there were a lot of import cars and stuff.
Totally. Yeah. I love that. I looked through the gallery like crazy. I mean, the galleries from the event were very, very cool. Interesting crowd, super. You mentioned Bugatti and everybody probably thinks that Chiron showed up, but it's like
an early Type 34.
Early car, which is crazy.
There was teenagers walking around, I think even local neighborhood teenagers, but then the car spread was probably 80s to 2010. So it was kind of reassuring, but you're not wrong. In the city, I never wait in line for anything because if you see a line, you can walk half a block and there's going to be an alternative option. But notably, Marina Middle School is not near a real
that doesn't give you that option.
It doesn't really.
No, I'm glad it was so popular. What were the cool cars there?
Yeah, what were the highlights?
We had, it sounds really silly, but there was a Suzu Trooper that was heavily modified. It was actually kind of interesting and funny to watch. But there was the Bugatti, there was a Carrera GT, there was a whole slew of all your E46 M3s, a couple of fancy color
some black
Porsches,
plates, some modern black plates,
some black plates matching black paint colors.
With the default number.
Correct.
That's my favorite.
E46.
I need a black and yellow California license plate and it has the default DMV number on it. And you're just
it says bad E46.
Anyway, did you list an Isuzu Trooper first before all these other things?
It was sort of
he apologized before
that snuck out of your mouth and you're just there was an Isuzu Trooper there. And then I mean there was a Bugatti there.
There was. I was also with my children and I was honestly
they probably loved the Trooper the most out of anything.
The idea. It was basically honestly I asked them what their favorite cars were that were there and the Ariel Atom Gravity for sure.
Nice.
That's like a toy.
It just looked like a toy kind of thing. And then my daughter just there was one ruby stone Carrera RS, and so that to her was sort of purplish, and she just liked that.
Carrera RS, what?
964.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who brought that?
Pile.
No. He probably sold it to the guy, though.
But he definitely knows Robbie Pyle.
But who?
I don't
had
know,
that?
actually. No.
Some dude,
It was
some lady.
I think everyone was in line for coffee. Like I rarely saw
There were no
someone-
people at the event. It was just, it was a huge
There was
parking lot full of
a-
cars
an-
and a line.
There was an E28 M5
It was
with
actually the event was a
bucket.
parking lot for the coffee
Yeah.
for the mobile coffee stand.
Unrelated.
I love that.
But there was an E28 M5 with a bin full of Hot Wheels. It just said, take one.
Oh, that's fun.
Which just like grabbed my kids. At first, I sort of wanted to like ask, like, hey, are you sure? Like, is this really okay? But there's nobody there. There's nobody there. to
'Cause he's
talk
in
about
line
it.
for
'Cause
coffee.
So it's like Halloween where they leave a bowl on the
Well-
and they're not home.
Please
and
take just
one
one.
child took home 87 Hot Wheels.
Even worse, my kids wait in line behind a grown adult who's going through the bin.
That's a very cars and coffee moment. That's like car culture. Everybody talks about car culture. That's car culture. The adult standing in front of a child to grab a free Hot Wheels. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Oh, man. Dude, I love it. What a cross section of society and crazy cars you list off. And I just love that it's popular and cool. I mean, Motoring Club has a lot of gravity, right? I mean, they blast that out that they're going to be there and organize it. And they have a cool product and a cool group. And even their coffee shop, which has an interesting green Porsche in it right now, is great in town. I'm super stoked at the stuff that they're doing. I'm jealous. You're giving us trouble, Alex, for not going, but I wish I could have been there.
No,
Like,
I was
awesome.
teasing because I wanted to be there and kind of foolishly thought I was going to be, and then my travel plans got in the way of it. But I'm so glad you guys went. A pretty good BAT staff turnout.
Oh, yeah. We had 7-8 people there
Great.
in the booth. I'm kind of surprised. I can't really think of an equivalent sized event that's happened like in the city.
We haven't done an event in
We
the city
did,
in
yeah,
so
the Power
long.
Station.
I mean, we did Power Station a long time ago, but I mean, there was a Radwood here, and there was some of stuff down on the docks, right? Like guys were trying to do car shows.
Oh,
down
yeah,
on
that's
the
right. There's been a
docks.
Redwood at Pier 3032.
And then there's
last
some car show that happens like out in Golden Gate Park that was
Yes.
annual and popular, but I was never really invited.
There's
You'd only
also-
hear about it through like the grapevine. You
There's
remember
like-
that?
No.
I know what you're talking about.
What was that thing called?
You mean like an organized car
Yes,
show?
very
Okay.
organized
I don't
car
know what
show.
you're talking about.
And then nobody knows them numbers. And
Well,
then
but-
there's like the grassroots like rally stuff. I mean, the start of the melee and the start of the snowball used to be as big as what you're talking about. I mean, like everybody
Yeah.
would come out. It was
Yes.
in the Presidio green, and it was like amazing.
Start of the California
Right.
Melee used to be.
And that was
Oh, yeah.
super high quality
at the top of
Fairmont.
Nob Hill. Yeah, that
But
was
now I
amazing.
heard that's starting in Palo Alto this year.
I don't think it's
Oh.
started in the city for the last 3 years now.
I know. The Fairmont thing was so rad.
Fairmont was incredible. So anyway, maybe someday they'll bring it back there. But
You and I did Vintage Rally. I can't remember what it was. It started at the ballpark one year, and that was like a pretty big rad car show.
yeah, kind of on the side. That was a snowball.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, San Francisco events are few and far between, but let's hope they blow this up and take over it. I mean,
Breakfast Club.
Yep.
that's
And
like
pre-stage.
SF adjacent, right?
Yeah.
That's like 20 minutes away, and so a
And
lot
the
of people are
Blackhawk
going
is
there.
gone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that was a big one that a lot of people came to. Alice's is still a party whenever you can get down there. There is like an unofficial one out at Ocean Beach that
Oh, sure.
seems like it gets broken up every time. But, you know, a lot of Saturday or Sunday mornings I see Corvairs and C2 Corvettes headed westward, you know, through our neighborhood.
We used to do that with the BMW 2002 club, the Bay Area O2 club.
Do you
would
guys get
always-
busted up too?
No, if they ever asked, we were always leaving pretty quickly because that was our starting location for the not scenic 49-mile drive through the city, which was we would usually start at the Ocean Beach. It would be like a good 15, 20 O2s, and then we would drive a select route through the city, end up maybe at Treasure Island or something like that. But
Yeah.
we were always only there for a little bit, but you're not wrong that when car shows, I mean, there's two types. There's the ones that start Saturday morning and the ones that are there Saturday at 10 p.m. And again, the park rangers
Yeah.
break it up.
Also, on any given weekend day, if it's sunny, you can see 500 dirt bikes going down 19th Avenue at
Electric dirt bikes
12
now.
o'clock.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Daniel Lurie's like cracking down on all that now, right? There's like no side shows or whatever. I'm like, good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck stopping that.
Terrifying.
Totally. Do you remember what year that was that we did the power? Was that 2018? Could it have been that long ago? Was it 8 years ago? The power station.
First ever
BAT? That was the first ever BAT
alumni
alumni
gathering?
gathering. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm, gonna
I'm
look it up.
almost positive of 2018 because you guys did it while I was here, but I wasn't part of the team that went to go do it. It was sort of an experimental.
Oh,
first thing.
Beck.
But you worked for the company?
I was, yes.
Okay. Like a new hire at that
Mhm.
point? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Amazing.
that summer.
Amazing.
Like let everybody just drive across town and show up. We like told you not to come. What did we do?
I think there was a select team that had been notified, and
You like live in town. You couldn't cruise over in your. What were you driving? You probably wanted to bring the Xterra. That's why we were
like, I mean, the SC motor was built by then, so I would have been.
You could have brought
that.
the SC. We should have had you there with the SC.
Yeah.
God, you had the motor built that long ago. That's
live and learn.
But
there was a great Honda S600 at that event. You remember that?
No.
Kamisa showed up riding shotgun in it. You remember
it was
that?
a Roadster? I don't remember that.
Red.
I remember there was a Zanardi NSX. I remember that very distinctly. I only have vague memories of it, and I remember it being really popular. I mean, it was our first one. I was standing at the front with like the clipboard doing the whole thing that we used to do for years.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was down in LA, and that one was everyone. Everyone was traveled down to LA for that one.
Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stood with a clipboard out in front for that one too. And Howard and I and the Peterson docents who didn't know what BAT was, we were like competing over who was actually in charge. It was like a whole amazing situation that I can spend 20 minutes describing.
Early days.
Yeah.
More stories. Anyway, the SF event sounds like it was awesome. Are they doing another one? When are they doing it again?
I think they're doing 4 this year.
It sounded like they're trying to do it quarterly, which sounds like the right kind of cadence at least. I don't think they've announced a date for the next one though.
They like to announce late, their cowboys, because those guys are hip.
Later than we're even used to.
Yes. The coffee shop that Motoring Coffee that this is all associated with is so. Have you walked in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I feel so uncool when I walk in there. Speaking of hip, right?
Sure.
And it seems like there's people interested in cars, but there's also just like, there's a Venn diagram crossover between hip young people and hip young car people there. So there's also non-car people there hanging out.
It's on Union Street, which is also just a very trendy place in the city. So there's no way you could possibly have like a lot of foot traffic in that kind of location and have it not be grabbing into a crowd that they just see your 912 hot rod and think, ooh, a green car.
Yeah.
And just want to take a photo with it.
It looks so crappy in there. I went in there on Saturday with my dad. I warned them. And it's just like dusty and none of the paint matches. I was like, ugh, I'm sorry for everyone. But I took a selfie. My dad was so happy to see that car in there. It just made his week. You know,
Is that right?
He loves that car. He thinks it's such a rocket ship. 160 horsepower.
What were people saying?
Horsepower.
What were people saying in the coffee house?
It's in conjunction with some kind of activation for a AI company. So like everything's green. Like the drinks are green. There's a green everything. So it's in keeping with a larger theme on what they're doing there at the coffee shop. What are you pulling up, Randy?
I just pulled up the first BAT alumni gathering. A fun morning with friends, old and new story. This is February 15th, 2018.
Oh my God, it was early.
That's actually before my time. Then.
Okay.
So no.
So all the trouble you're giving us for not inviting you. Maybe we did invite you. Who knows? Maybe we didn't even know each other.
I want to read that.
Anyway, that's the one they call the Spaniard. You know who I'm talking about? The user? That's his name.
Oh, he's the Spaniard?
He's the Spaniard.
With the S600?
And he has that S600. And it's
good for him.
Fantastic.
I thought you were making a sick gladiator reference.
It is. That is his username,
Spaniard.
the one they call the Spaniard. Come on, dude. Get with the program.
Oh my God.
He's an all-time all-star on BET.
That is an amazing.
You remember
username.
this bro showed up in this Fulvia?
Oh, HF. Yes.
A real
1600. Yeah. Or is that, it's called an HF, right?
No, that's a Fanalone.
Okay.
I mean, that's like the real deal.
The
best
1.6
Fulvia
liter.
there is. I was apparently there in the Integrale. Anyway, alumni gatherings started in 2018.
On the other end of the ragtag spectrum, there's the Hillsborough Concours. That's a kind of storied Bay Area event.
And we're going to be involved this year, which is pretty cool.
Yes,
so
that's
anyway,
right.
That's another one that's coming up.
When was the last time you were at Hillsborough Concours?
Little known fact, I've never been.
What?
I've never been in
You've
my life.
been, right, Beck?
I have not.
What?
I've written up in listings all the time. Such and such car was at Hillsborough.
It's right there on the 280. It's pretty close to your house.
It's in listings a lot. Local cars end up getting shown there or whatever else. So we're going to be there. It's going to be cool.
Should be awesome. I went there one time when the Swig brothers were showing something.
Totally.
And I took my then 3-year-old daughter, who's now in junior high.
So you have been.
Yeah, I was working for BAT. I was wearing the homemade Meredith Nonnenberg BAT jacket back when we didn't have real merch.
Totally.
And I remember having to carry my daughter the whole length to get her back. You know what it's like to take a little kid to an
event.
event.
Like a Disneyland trip, pretty much.
100%.
Yep.
And I'm sub 2 weeks to Disneyland, so don't get me started on that. I'm already having heart palpitations thinking about it.
Well, cool. I love that you've been to that event. And what's their claim to fame? Longest continuously running concours in the nation?
Yeah.
Or in the world? I don't even know. I think it's
something like that, but it's just been around forever. It's an institution.
Yeah.
It's an institution.
Anyway, Little shout out for those guys too.
Yeah,
So
excited
we got some
about that.
events happening, even though it's the middle of winter. Some things are starting to
Yeah, we're only 2 weeks from Palm
unfold.
Springs.
Yes.
Beck, you're going to come.
I am.
That's going to be rad. Cool venue, plenty of room for everybody. Should be awesome. And hopefully get to see Compass Collective, our local partner who have expanded from San Diego to Palm Springs, their brand new facility. Hopefully we get to go see that. Carl and Jill, who are the best, who I think you've met before. If not, they're awesome and they'll be heavily featured, and hopefully we'll get to see their new facility.
Are we doing that in conjunction with them specifically or anyone else?
They're like the hosting partner because they're the only local partner we've had there, or the only local partner we do have, although we have other sellers in the area. But we're actually doing it at an abandoned golf course to tease everyone.
It's like a decommissioned golf course.
Yes.
They're like trying to turn it into nature.
It is.
again,
It is currently a nature
right?
preserve.
But
yeah.
there's
And
still the clubhouse.
there's still a clubhouse and the big parking lots and all those facilities. So we get to use those. And then the golf course itself is like, it's up in the north part of the city, which is dunes naturally. And like those all got ruined by development. And so they're turning them, it's like going to return to dunes, but they're just going to kind of let it happen organically.
We need some dune machines then.
Oh,
That's
dude. Randy's
what
ready
I'm
for
talking
Manx,
about.
yeah.
Are we going? Are we going? Or what?
Manx.
I got 2 weeks to get an air-cooled vehicle down there?
You've got 2
I
weeks
already
to buy a
know the one.
Manx.
I know. I already know the vehicle because it's in San Diego, which could like loop out to there.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I love. Now I got a reason
Manx
to
with
exist.
a Corvair engine, like Steve.
Fair Manx?
Yeah, Vair Manx would be really, really cool. Do you know that that's a thing?
Did not
Putting
know that's a
Corvair
thing.
engines in Manxes, yeah.
Mhm.
But when they were cheaper, people would put
Sure.
SC engines in them too.
Mhm.
But nobody would ever do that now. That horsepower is too expensive back.
No, a lot cheaper options
LS.
now.
LS.
People
LS,
do
yeah,
definitely do
done.
that. They definitely put LSs and the front wheels never touch the ground.
For sure.
Anyway, that's going to be fun. We're going to have a good crew out there. Huge amount of excitement and popularity from the community. I guess I should have assumed that Palm Springs is a place where there's like, we know there's
People
a lot of
want to go to
people
Palm
there.
Springs. I mean, SoCal, everybody's like, come back to SoCal, do an event. And this one is kind of going to try to draw the people out from the coast out to Palm Springs.
We also
Should be
sell
fun.
a decent number of cars out
Totally.
of Palm Springs.
100%.
There's definitely a car culture there, as
Yes.
you and I have observed together.
Yes.
So yeah, there's already people who are
Driving up and down that street, I'm always going past that dealership with the cool mid-century building with all the cars on display.
for sure.
So, yeah.
I mean,
That has been there forever, hasn't it?
Uh-huh.
That one dealer, there's
Uh-huh.
in Palm Springs, there's one
he's right by
classic car
downtown.
dealer, and
Yep.
it's always got like a huge caddy. in it,
Always,
right?
always like a 70 Eldorado Vert.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
gold.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I love it though.
I do too.
It works.
That's me. Randy thinks that every staffer's retirement program is just to become a local partner, and I'm going to be.
Oh,
I'm going to buy
gonna-
that dealership.
You're going to be the 12th local partner in Palm Springs.
Correct.
Perfect.
correct and sell
Oh, but you're going to
only
buy that guy.
caddy verts only.
Oh,
all
That's gonna be
complaining to
fantastic.
HUD that
And
there's
a
too much
Von Teese.
competition in our town.
Totally. My username is going to be caddy verts only.
there you go. There you go.
Awesome. Well, excited about all that stuff. More exciting events, announcements to come throughout the year.
We were just talking about one today. We're not
I
teasing
know,
that one yet.
No,
It's secret. That
It's-
one's still secret.
Keep your calendars open in
Yeah.
SoCal
Yeah.
later in the year. No, that one's going to be rad. I had a couple things for you guys, but I'm pretty fixated. I've been thinking most of the day on this one question of the week that we had from a couple weeks ago. And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've got a bunch of anecdotes that I can share while you guys think about your own. But it was, what is the best temporary fix that you've ever put on a car that became permanent? And I started thinking about
Oh,
this, and it
no.
has there's so many for me. And I actually started a whole list, and
That wasn't the horrible image that they posted on the website of like the vice grips
Yes,
on the
correct.
blind
Yes.
window winder. Where they're
Correct.
like, that's good enough.
the guy who won. He had a Beetle, and the floor pan finally gave up on it, and he was going to get like Taco Bell or something, and he asked if he could take the tray, and they said yes, and he added the tray to the floor pan, and it just kind of remained part of the Beetle going forward. Similarly, the first one that came to my mind was my old RX-7 race car. We swapped transmissions. It's so long ago, I can't remember the deal. The car was an 80, but we put like an 85 transmission in it, and the cutout for the shifter was slightly different for the different year transmission we put in. And we didn't have a boot or anything, so we just showed up, with the bare transmission tunnel. You could see the drive shaft and the coupling, spinning around behind the transmission. It was only about an inch gap. But the tech, probably wisely, the safety tech inspector was like, man, you guys got to cover that up. Somebody's finger's going to go in there and get chewed off. And we had a road sign in our trailer, and we used tin snips and cut a piece of an old road sign on.
That's normal.
And bent it over the transmission tunnel and like used sheet metal screws and screwed it on.
They were doing that at Shelby American in Venice. Dude.
Totally.
I mean, that's like normal.
Totally.
But I love that you
I
did
loved
it and
that.
kept it.
And I mean, that car's definitely dead, but whoever has it now, I like to think that plate is still on there.
Yeah.
Piece of an aluminum road sign.
Where is that car now?
I mean, in a junkyard. It has to be.
It
should have been.
Describe the car. What was the car?
It was a 1980 FB RX-7 that was a series called Pro 7. That was like a spec series with those cars. But you could like have all the best parts. And ours we bought from a guy who actually worked at Yahoo. It was painted the color of Barney the dinosaur because it was the Yahoo color back then, purple. Bought it in San Jose. And he gave us a bunch of spares, including a GSLSE rear end with like the limited slip and everything. And this better trans. And slowly as we ate through parts, we like put all those in our car. And I remember him saying, he's like, it's a non-sunroof car. It's like way stiffer and way faster than the sunroof car.
Way faster.
Yeah, totally.
Like zero faster.
Not in our hands. We were in the back.
It's like a tenth of a second a lap faster.
Totally.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$3,000 we paid for that
Sunroof,
car.
delete.
Straight cash.
That's hilarious. I went around Sears Point shotgun in a Pro 7 car once.
Did you really?
Yes.
It was a lot of fun to drive.
Buddy mine was racing Pro 7 and I went around and all I just remember, it wasn't that fast and it was very loud.
It's really loud.
It's the rotary just ripping
and
so loud.
We would, apparently the guy who bought it from us, the event after he bought it from us, the motor popped, which I'm not surprised, but we would just over rev it. You know, like if you needed an extra 1,000 RPM on a short shoot,
just take it.
I mean, our argument was always there's no valves to float. Like, what's going to happen? You know, just take it to 9,000 RPM, you know? So, and it served that way for years for us.
Is that
I think I met your buddy. I ran into a guy at a drag race.
Yes. That's who I was shotgun with.
Yeah, he was great. And we ran in like different groups because he was like NorCal guy and I was SoCal guy. And I've still never yet driven around Sears Point or Thunder Hill. Never.
You guys were BSing about Pro 7.
Correct. He remembered we knew a lot of the same guys, including
Pro 7 was
feeder
feeder into Miata.
Correct.
Spec
it was like
Miata.
sub-spec Miata. The guy that I bought my car from was selling it to build a spec Miata.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, yeah, it's going to be like 10 grand to build that car. And I remember thinking, oh my God, that's like an unreachable number.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, that's how we were all doing that stuff back then. Amazing. Anyway.
Sorry.
Sorry, we can talk about our
slight tangent. Do you have any stories like that? Fixes that became permanent? You guys are both so dialed. Maybe you don't have these. I have a bunch of other ones.
Oh, no. I've got one that was kind of embarrassing was my attempted backdating of the bumpers on my O2.
Oh.
Which was pulling the big, Euro 74 spec aluminum, but somehow felt like the weight of steel. Rip those off. And then, unfortunately, with O2s, the way they come off, they leave a gaping hole in the front end. On the back, it's easy. It's an easy swap. But on the front, if you wanted to make it look right, you got to cut all that kind of stuff. Bought these little plates to sort of weld in and thought, well, doesn't look that great. I'd never welded before. It was my first ever welding job I did with a friend of mine. And we both did a very poor job. Spray painted it purple because I didn't have Malaga paint to match it. With the idea, like, I'll do a better job someday. And then, like, 4 years later, I sold the car on BAT, and that's just how it was.
It was still the same way.
Still the exact same way.
That's amazing.
Nothing had changed. Still no bumper on the front at all.
Nothing like your first welding job. We mangled quite a few welding jobs on that RX-7. Same thing. Trying to weld onto aluminum and
blowing through the steel of the nose of the car that was probably at this point so incredibly thin on a steel plate that was like twice the thickness.
Some oil doesn't ignite on the other side.
It's so hard to weld that.
It was pretty tough first ask. I did like some bench welding to sort of like try to get a little bead going, and that was like, oh, this looks great. This should be easy. And then went on the car, and it was just awful.
Nightmare. Amazing. Do you have any of those, Randy? Any fixes that stuck around forever?
Yes. So there's a picture of a Mercedes on the wall here that's now BAT Alumni. That was at the Peterson event. And then
the green Fintail?
The green Fintail. And I set that up like a rally car in a very hurry up fashion before the melee that I ran it on. And night before, I was putting in Euro headlights and I was doing all this stuff. And I love those cars in period pictures because they have a center Cyclops driving light over the grill. And I'm like, how the heck am I going to? I got a light. I had like a...
It wasn't mounted to the bumper? It came through the grill?
Yeah. I had a Marshall light. So it has to go up with the hood because the grill goes up with the hood on a Benz. So it's wired and whatever else back through the hood. But I was like, how am I going to mount this thing? And it's like late at night. The event's tomorrow. I'm like, but I got to have the Cyclops light because that's like the reason I bought the car was for this one stupid driving light. And I was like, how am I going to mount it? And I'm looking at pictures online. I can't figure it out, or it's something I'm not going to be able to do. Early Benz grills are plastic, right? The grid in them is plastic, so you can bust it really easily. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to sandwich something on here. And I had a vise. I had like some scrap aluminum, and I just like banged out this like super crude angle iron looking thing. And I was like, oh, that corner's too sharp, and like bent it over with a hammer or whatever. Anyway, it was very crude, but it got the light on the car. I had these big Bosch. What are those things called? They have some clever marketing name. And then the Marshall one was in the center, and it was non-functional for that event. The wide ones were functional, but the one I got on like last second, it wasn't even wired. I was just like, stuff the wires through the grill, like get it on there, like turn the key and go. And then I kept that car for years, driving it like that with that same. I never. It's always.
Did it ever work?
It's one of those things. The light eventually worked, I think, but it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I'll go clean that up next time, right? I'll go build a nice mount for that, and you're just like, the light's on there, we're good, you know. So I just drove it on a bunch more rallies and all over town and commuted it in it and did everything and just left that. And
Did it get sold with that?
It got sold with it. It may still have it on. It may still have it on. It was pretty homebrew, you know. It's like, oh, I've got this. What do I have? I have a vise and I've got a hammer. I was like, okay, that's precise enough. Let's do it, you know. So anyway,
I love that kind of stuff.
If you look close on that picture over on the wall, maybe you can see it, but it was not the finest metal crafting.
I ran my Carbon Ghia for about 10 years with a zip tie chain as the battery hold down. You know, like it came loose at one point and I had a bunch of zip ties.
Daisy chained him?
Chained him to hold it down. Yes. And then I would clip one when I needed to change the battery and then I just reattach it. I did that for like 10 years, same chain of things. So I've done this more times than I'm.
That will not pass tech.
No, wasn't taking the Ghia onto any tracks.
Not
but
pass tech.
The Porsche, the green Porsche, before I put carbs on it, I tried to get it to pass smog for so many years. And so I had the injection on it, and it had this like rubber plastic snorkel that led to the air box. And it was like an unobtainium part because it was just for the 912E. It's not on 914s with the same motor. And so that had like a big crack in it. And I spent 10 years siliconing, like wrapping in duct tape that snout, that trumpet, because, you know, it would compress and it would make the car miss under hard acceleration. And I looked for that part for 10 years. And sometimes I'd find a whole motor and I'd be like, can I just buy that part off? They'd be like, you can buy the whole motor, but you can't buy that one intake piece. So until I had carburetors, that was a terrible fix that I had to keep redoing over and over again for a decade.
On my SC, at one point, I was trying to reduce weight. I was still autocrossing at the time.
Hell yes, brother.
So
Were you really? Dude, you've autocrossed that car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I never knew that.
Target top on or target top off?
Off. The only way I can fit with a helmet.
Yeah,
in my car is
yeah.
with the top off.
A little Targa autocrossing on the weekends, Beck.
Built-in roll bar,
All
buddy.
these things
Totally safe.
I don't know about Beck. Proceed. I want to hear more details.
I also made the mistake. I thought I was reducing weight in the right spots by taking the spare wheel out the front, and my mechanic was like, no, you probably want that weight up front. But I was trying to cut weight, and so I went from the most gigantic battery you've ever seen is in the front end of 911s.
On the driver's side, unfortunately.
On the driver's side.
Really offsetting the weight balance.
Big giant. One that you can pretty much never get in and out very easily. I went with a red top, you know, Optima is small, but like the same cranky power, that sort of thing. But I had to make a custom mount for it. And I didn't have even spare sheet metal around or anything for it. But I had wood. And so I got a piece of like 1/4-inch plywood, cut it to shape, and then screwed it into a hole down there.
Yes.
Went for an autocross run, came back, and the plywood was starting to split down the middle of it.
Perfect.
like
no tech inspector at that.
Right. They don't really shake your battery.
No.
So didn't think much of it.
Should like that in autocrossing. That's one of the most terrifying.
I mean, I've seen some tech guys not look up from their clipboard and be like, good. I've seen some shoddy tech inspections.
But later on, I had taken it to high tech to get serviced, or maybe it was for the engine build, whatever it was. And I noticed when I was at home at one point that like on some large invoice of servicing, there was like battery mount. I looked inside and they had replaced it with a proper metal mount.
The wood was still
They didn't even ask
the
you.
wood was gone.
They
They didn't even ask
did
me.
it. They're like, please, please, replace this
plywood
component.
delete.
Plywood delete.
You're like, oh, I built that myself. They're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we could see that.
We appreciate that, and
Amazing.
it's now gone.
Amazing.
It's now a wheel chalk.
There's a decent percentage, like a double-digit percentage of things that I have done on my own car that I've had to pay someone else to fix.
Remedy.
To fix correctly. You did a fix, and then you needed somebody to fix it.
The hardest
correctly.
one was rebuilding the rear suspension on the 911 because you have to index the splines, and I didn't have a flat garage by any means, and I thought I could like mark on the chassis like where they were, and then like just eyeball and put it back in, and then of course reassembled it all, lowered the car down. The car's at like a good 5-degree angle.
Yes. It was tail down.
No, it was like sideways. Like
you
passenger
had
side.
got them messed up off side to side.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Oh man, I've lowered a few 911s in my day. It's tough. And people have very strong feelings about how much rake they're supposed to, because when people sit in them, it sits down a little bit.
I mean, it's not too bad lowering up and down if you're just going a few little points because they're adjustable. It's the second you start pulling out spring.
That's what I
holes
mean.
and start
Yeah.
reindexing, that's really challenging.
Counting splines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You ever lowered a 911, Randy?
No, I've played with the ride height on the 356, which is torsion bar.
Yeah.
But 911s, some of that's similar, but some of that's probably different.
Do you miss having a 911? You haven't had a 911 in a long time. You were such a Porsche guy. And now you're like, F that.
No, man, I've got one.
I know.
own one. It's a Sport Beetle, Volkswagen.
Oh yeah.
But
I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad you did.
But no, I like Porsches. I'd get back into a Porsche here.
It's so convincing.
If a 993 wide body wasn't $220,000 on the site today, it's just happened, I would be inclined.
That's problematic.
That's just a lot.
But wouldn't you want another? Wouldn't you want another like long hood though?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I have my eye on a few of those that are for sale right now.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Those are fun cars.
What's the dream for you, Beck? Is it still 65? I've been thinking again about 65 911s.
Yeah, I mean a first gen.
Yeah.
Well,
Early,
65,
simple,
66
like plain
kind of thing. For sure.
911. No letter.
What do you mean first gen? Like short wheelbase?
Short wheelbase, but specifically
a plain
65,
911.
66, before they started coming out with all the letters.
Yep.
Like before S&T and all that.
Green numbers on the dials.
Yes. Yeah, green numbers on the dials, script 911 on the rear, deck lid, that sort of
Skinny
thing.
wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Steelies with hubcaps for me. That really moved on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for that. Yeah, you guys do too many nice things. I'm not going to list all the other problematic things I've done to my cars over the years. It's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing now.
I was trying to repress all those memories of fixes I've made like that, but the light
homemade zip tie. I mean, I homemade so many things for my race car. I also homemade like a cover for the fuel pump because it kept getting dirt in it because it hangs, on the bottom. And I spun that car off onto the dirt so many times it would cut off. Anyway,
race cars are so much different though. Like that's totally normal.
Yeah, but it's still embarrassing because like you watch a good fabricator do stuff and you're like, oh my God. Like, you know how like my boss was this way. He could spin something up really quick, but he'd been doing it for so long. Even his quick work looked super pro. And I would spend hours on some horrible looking, like contrived thing that I slapped together with bolts and bad welds. Anyway.
Yep.
Any other interesting stuff on the website that you want to talk about? Randy and I did a little bit of that last week, but my watch list has really filled up with Fox body Mustangs and all kinds of interesting things. The 300G, you saw that drop right after the B. Randy, we were talking about the C300 last week.
He sold, it wasn't a B, but he sold the
C300. Yeah,
he sold the first 300. And everybody was enthusiastic about it. And he sold it. And then right after that, he popped in with one of your favorite early Chryslers.
300G, which was bought on the site too.
There's weird stuff on the site. I don't know how weird.
Texaco gas station? Can you pitch the Texaco?
Would you like to purchase? Yeah. It's like we're on LoopNet. We're like on a real estate site now. A guy's selling like a 40s or 50s Texaco gas station building full of all the memorabilia and the gas pumps and everything. You can just like.
Did you see?
I was looking at like the concrete it was sitting on. I was like, can you just lay this like in a parking lot somewhere? And he has like curbing poured for it and stuff. So you'd have to replicate that. But it's set up as a drive-through. You remember, like this is dumb, but I always think of the Back to the Future scene, right? When he goes
Back to the Future, yes.
And like the car drives over the little ring
ding,
bell
ding,
and 5 people run out and wash the windshield.
Sandman is playing.
Sandman is totally playing. Mr. Sandman, not Enter Sandman.
Slightly different
it's a little different vibe, different era. And he, anyway, that contraption, that building, that whole thing, which is kind of like the life I want, is being sold on BAT right now. I don't know how somebody's going to put it on a truck or what they're going to do, but It comes with the roof, the windows, the drive-through, the signage, the pumps,
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
amazing.
deal. It just needs 5 employees in like
In
all
white
white with a
jumpsuits,
red
for
ball
sure.
cap to come running out and work on your 1939 Dodge.
In 55, it's 5 guys in matching suits run out. In the 2015 version, Back to the Future Part 2, it's a robot. It's a single
is it
armed
really?
robot that comes out.
It's a ode to the original one.
Dude,
Yes, it is, yeah.
Well, that will be here soon enough. But wow, fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always think of that scene when I think of old gas stations because I love how they come sprinting out.
Totally.
The people.
And it looks like they could be they're either pumping gas or serving hamburgers. It's like the
across
same
street
outfit.
is hamburgers.
But it's the same uniform.
Same crowd. Yeah. Can't give you a tab unless you order
That's
something.
right.
So anyway, so that is fascinating and live on the site right now. What else we need to talk about live on the site? I was going to say the T-Bird with the Cammer engine in it. Did you see this?
Oh my gosh, it's the big square T-Bird. It's like a 59 or something
And
like
everybody's like, the motor is worth so much more than the
that.
car.
Totally. It's going to I'm worried it's going to tear the chassis apart.
Well, maybe, but people are just like, what? Like, how fast does this engine come out of this car for the winter? Right? Like you buy it and you pull the motor out and put it in something else. But he put it in like a fairly cheap Thunderbird.
But that's kind of what I like about it.
That's what everybody likes about it because it's like a fascinating thing. You're used to those engines in a Galaxy, and then the seller wants $200,000 for it, right? But this one is just like, yeah. Anyway, it's
also
it's like,
going fast in that car would be really surprising and interesting.
I have no idea what it would even feel like in that car with a 3-speed manual.
I know.
Anyway,
because this is like meaningfully shorter than what a Galaxy would be, right?
it's still a big American car, but it's a smaller car than a big Gal would be. But it's just, it's
notably
an interesting car, but it's not like the most desirable bird or Ford. So it's curious. That vehicle is curious.
It's a curiosity. I do really like that specific one. You should talk about the Emory 356.
I was going to say that's probably top of my watch list.
Since
right
you've
now.
been on the phone a little bit.
John Oates of Hall & Oates is listing his 1960 356 Emory Special Cabriolet. This has been in his collection for several years now. He's obviously the one who got it built by Rod, and it's been traveling around the country and sort of been unveiled at multiple locations. It's a lot of, 97 comments already, and there's still 6 days left. Several people commented about that, how they've actually seen
this
noticed car
that.
before, but also they've seen John.
They've talked to John,
before.
yeah, right.
I will kind of admit I didn't realize actually John's background in Porsches specifically. He has quite a collection, and it seems like he really puts
There's
his
an
name behind
iconic
it.
picture of him leaning against a red 930 in period that he had that
Is
was
that right?
modified. Yeah, I remember seeing that a long time ago. We've sold a couple of his X cars before, including some race cars, I think.
Mhm. Yeah,
Didn't he race IMSA at one point?
He did some sort of series. I'm not sure if it was an IMSA one. I believe he had a pretty close call at one point that kind of, I think, ended his racing pursuits to a certain degree. That I believe he was talking about it in this car on Jay Leno's garage. And when talking to Jay, that was the deviation into more the street car route.
They can identify with each other. They've both had some close calls.
Yeah, but Jay keeps going though.
Yeah. I found it interesting. He's never taken the hardtop off of it,
Never
which is
taken it
fascinating.
off. He got it delivered with the hardtop on and is just stuck with it the entire time.
Amazing.
But he was there with our photographer, Jordan Cole, who's just a phenomenal guy. He's probably one of our top 3 in the country. And we traveled Jordan up to him, and he spent the whole day. And John Oates was just like so gracious with his time. It was pretty phenomenal for him.
Awesome car. I'm so glad to have that on the site. I'm glad the community is stoked on it.
I was going to make a Hall & Oates joke.
All you have to do is go read the comments.
you and
you
half
can
the
see.
comments are
Shoot. Oh, sorry. I need to read more of the comments. I saw the car come through, and I was back on social and following Rod fairly closely when that car was being built and delivered. So I remember he was talking about that, and then it got unveiled. And
it was like all over.
They did
it was
some deal at the Porsche Experience Center for the unveil. That's why people are like, oh, I saw that car and I saw him, because there's not another one like it. So anyway, we'll see if people go after it and are stoked on that car.
I remember seeing it all over the place when it came out. It's a great car. And plus you get to have lots of John Oates conversations.
My wife has been very envious. It's been interesting at home. Being
Envious of you talking to him?
Correct, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a big fan.
You
Her sister's a
should
huge
conference
fan.
call her in. Hey, talking to the stars of the music world in your job, Beck. That's kind of fun. There's another Emory or Emory adjacent Porsche on the site. Did you know that? Or you guys you're so in the haze of John Oates conversations that you missed the other one? Come on, guys.
No,
Sure.
the
I'm also
race car,
watching.
right?
You're also watching
Yeah,
that.
it's
Okay,
definitely on
good.
my
More
list.
imports. More imports. Those guys were telling us that car was coming. I didn't realize they had that car, but my favorite part of that car, because I'm biased, goes to its first feature on BAT.
Oh, it's a previous pre-auction
pre-auction.
feature.
Oh man,
when you guys were little kids. Yes.
First year.
Because absolutely. That was in the first year of BAT.
Wow.
That car was linked to off of Emory's old website he had at the farm up in Oregon. They had the Parts Obsolete website, and they had a for sale tab that I used to drool over. And he was supporting a bunch of race cars back in the day before they were building, Rossport motors and all this crazy stuff that they have now. He was supporting a bunch of people in Sovereign, which I don't know if Sovereign, the sanctioning body, if that's even in existence anymore.
We need to call up Vic. Vic will tell us all about that.
Yeah, well, no, he's Midwest. You got to call somebody from the Pac Northwest.
Oh,
And
Sovereign was only Pacific Northwest?
He was out of Seattle, I think. And there was a vibrant group of a bunch of Porsches, and Rod supported it. And this car was one of them. And now the crazy part is it's like a street car. It's a race car, but it's a street car.
And we've had quite a few of those, not even just 356s, but we've had 911s and 912s that have floated through that were like Emory race cars.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have, I see this one used to have it. They have that 4-spoke steering wheel that he liked.
Yep.
There was a cool 911, I think white with black stripes on it recently. But the one I remember is Fantasy Junction had a 912 that was like super modified race car that Emory built.
Number 912. The number
Is that
on the
right?
door was 912.
It was like a light blue.
Car
Remember
then
that
came
car?
down and ran CSRG for a bunch of years. Yeah. And
I really liked that car.
Anyway, you can debate over the use of Outlaw or whatever, or what race car, Outlaw, whatever it is. But the bottom line is a real 356 that Rod built in this style, or he and his dad maybe built in this style. And it's pretty popular on the site.
Well, in this era, this is kind of my dream. Like, it can be a race car with a title. Like, that's like,
does street and does track. Absolutely.
The number on it is 902, actually, interestingly, which is fascinating. Well, because I'm sure that's like a 901 reference, right?
Yep.
Like 912Rs. Rad.
Anyway, those are a couple.
No, we're not entirely in the pocket of Big Oats, but we are.
You were. Maybe you.
Well, Beck's wife is in the pocket of Big Hall and Oats.
Well, anyway, he'd prefer us to move along from that topic. What else is on the site that you guys are watching?
I want that SVO Mustang. That's another one like the Ferrari or like a couple other cars that I've been on for so long. You just called it today. I need one. I've been talking about them for too long.
Here's a car that I'm going to cover the title of, and you have to tell me what it is.
Oh my God.
Alex doesn't know. Beck.
I don't know.
Beck doesn't know. I just
is it a Chrysler?
Alex and Beck on a car, showing them the photo and not the year, make, model title above it. How about that?
It's a Chrysler?
That is a 1978 Plymouth Sapporo.
Like the beer?
Neither of you have ever heard of it. I think I've maybe featured one of these a million years ago. Let me type
Plymouth
Sapporo. Just whenever you want to have fun, just go type a beer name into the title on BAT.
Yeah, spell that.
You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get. 6 results for Sapporo. Oh, wow. Look at these weird cars. Anyway, the chairman of the Sapporo Automobile Club is going to reach out to us.
Oh, totally.
That you guys don't know what this car is.
I'm aghast.
Anyway, we put all sorts of funny titles about them early in the day.
When you say we, do you mean you?
That's the Royal We. It's the Royal We. Yeah, I wrote about 5 of them. And then this is our first auction of a Plymouth Sapporo. First ever BAT auction. 250,000 auctions. And we got a Plymouth Sapporo live. So we've already talked about that car enough.
No. Wait. Here's a title that needs to be read out loud on the podcast. Preserved Euro Market Rarity, 1982 Mitsubishi Sapporo Turbo Convertible.
That's why it kind of looks like a Chrysler product and kind of looks Japanese. This was some joint product. I don't know what it is.
All I know is the Sapporo that I need, though. The Sapporo I need is the one with the chrome Targa roll bar on it. The one without that is like a thumbs down. But Sapporo.
Well, does this one have it? Oh, don't disparage.
I mean, that's your Targa roll bar.
Oh, it is.
Just like on a.
Let's go autocross it. Let's go.
Totally.
Let's autocross this thing. What's the power in this support? Oh my gosh.
You don't want to know the answer to that.
Whoa. The Mitsubishi Source 2.6 liter inline 4.
105 HPs, it looks like. That's what we've got on one of these.
Crazy.
Man.
Anyway, stoked on it.
I'm
Looks like
actually-
it's an interesting fellow, young guy that's selling it, and current bid is $777. 5 days to go.
I am definitely going to use your trick on some people. Identify this car.
Well, I mean, I love that it stumped both you guys. I'm going to try to find something else that
No, it's
stumps
not that
both
you just
guys.
stumped me, but like I've never heard of the vehicle before. So
That's stumping you. As
it's
far as I'm
amazing.
concerned.
10 years in, you still learn a few things. It's
Okay.
good to know.
Okay.
Good to know.
You could have asked me that about this TVR Cabrera. And
Oh man.
I would not have known that one.
Top Gear has all their little classic bits on YouTube. If you've
Sure.
been watching these, my dad and I had some Manhattans on Saturday and watched a bunch of old ones. And when they take their British Luxo barges to the TVR factory, it's just a wonderful episode. And there's like just shells of old TVRs lying around, and like all the old like smutty calendars are still on the wall from like the employees who were building the TVRs. It's so great. I love
And they're
it.
just waiting to demolish that building, or that building
Kind
is
of.
still functioning.
No. It's former TVR.
Very much,
Although
yeah.
there was at one point they brought it back out, maybe in the 2000s.
Somebody
but-
owns the name and is
Sure.
producing something.
They were licensing that name to Gran Turismo for several years. That was pretty much my only exposure to them until really honestly working at BAT.
I love TVRs. I don't know if
Do
they're.
you really?
I do.
I think Grand Churas are cool, like
Yes.
the really early ones.
Well, the one I like is the Griffith, which is not a
The TVR
TVR, but
Griffith.
it's the hot rodded TVR with
Yeah.
a
What do they call that? Like a 100 or a
200.
300?
200.
Why did I
Griffith
guess?
200.
Both either side. I was wrong all the way through. 200. See, you stumped
You
me.
did fine.
You stumped me.
You did fine.
Griffith 100 does not exist. Yeah, there's a crazy Audi Quattro rally car on the
Oh,
site right
yeah.
now.
Heck yeah.
This is on the list for sure. Group
Did
4
you-
style.
Did you see the All-Trac Celica with the cool aviation pictures behind
We
it?
have
No.
two All-Trac Celicas, both body styles, live right now. A black
This is
one
the
and a
second
white one.
gen, right?
Your one
The-
was the
yep.
white one with
Yep.
the aviation photos.
C-130 in the background in the hero shot, which is fantastic.
Have you ever gone through an entire BAT podcast and not mentioned an airplane? There's trivia.
Probably not. Why would I?
Why is that a goal?
I don't.
Yeah, that's a false goal to
It is
try
a
to
false
avoid
goal.
talking about that. Okay,
Oh,
anyway.
you're baiting me.
Okay.
All right, boys. Thank you as always. Days of Thunder coming up for all of you. Days of Thunder coming up for us.
Is
We'll be
it?
back here in 48 hours, the three of us plus Tyler, talking about Days of Thunder. I've been having to hold Randy off all day long because he's ready.
I'm so
He's ready. He's ready. I want you all to be prepared for a 20-minute discussion on liveries.
At least.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. You're ready.
Absolutely.
You have thoughts. Thanks as always, boys. And thanks to all of you as always for listening. Feedback, questions, concerns, you can send those to podcast@bringatrailer.com.
Come to Palm Springs,
Come to Palm Springs, please.
and that's a wrap.